us through this event. We ask, oh God, that you hasten their steps in the mighty name of Jesus. I declare this meeting open in the mighty name of Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Heavenly Father. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Father.
What a lot of us know about they refuse to stay in one place. And what we're doing here this evening is the launch of something very, very unique and beautiful. One more time, let's give Ibaka a round of applause. I'd like to recognize a few people. First, let me start with a man I call the Jagaban of African journalism. Builder, a mentor to a lot of us. Lord Mayor Akipelu, publisher, Global Excellence Magazine, a round of applause for him. Sitting close to him is another publisher. From his face, you will know he's 70 already. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Biono Kukolui, Baba 70. And sitting close to him is my in-law, the Otoba of Gold Mine himself, Otoba Sheson Rufai. Can I have a round of applause for him? I'd like to move to this side of the divide. This, I refer to him as the son of a legend who, now what can I say about this other one? He's the polyglot, he's an amazing actor. We call him the James Bond of Africa. He's a man who consistently redefines his art. He just came out with a new movie that when I saw, my mind was blown. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Omo Alaja Said Balogun. And I hate him so much because he doesn't seem to be growing. He's just getting finer by the day. It's annoying. Then you must have heard one lady shouting, Aya the owner, Aya the owner, Aya the owner. You know, you have been wondering who the owner is. I'm the owner, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the owner. I just don't like to brag. I'm the owner. I've been the owner since. Ladies and gentlemen, my jewel of inestimable value, the only woman that makes my heart beat, the woman that I work for. All the money I'm making, apart from the one today, come on, she mistake transfer. Ladies and gentlemen, my sister, my friend, Mercy, I will a round of applause for her, please. I want to move round and also I'm going to be in trouble. I'm going to be in trouble this evening. I'm going to allow Shehu to do me a list so that I don't leave anybody out. I'd like to welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let me leave Nollywood alone for now. Let me go to, there's a state in Nigeria that if it sneezes, the whole of Africa will catch a cold. I'm talking about Oyo State. I grew up in Ibadan, and I know how influential Ibadan is when it comes to the politics, not just of Nigeria, but of Africa. But the engine room of the government of Oyo is here. He's not just here to represent himself, but he's here to represent that governor that has changed the perception of people and has shown them true governance. Engineer Sheyi Makinde. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome the Chief of Staff. A round of applause for him. Now, I don't know what it is about Ibaka and Oyo, but Oyo is very, very well represented. The Honorable Commissioner for Information is also here. Can I have a round of applause for the Honorable Commissioner for Information? He's my brother. He has promised me a license in Oyo State. Now, Show is whispering into my ears as if I do not know. But let me welcome this man who, when he had the opportunity, laid the foundation for a lot of the greatness that is happening in the industry today. Ladies and gentlemen, the irrepressible Emeka Mba is here with us. A round of applause. There's no need to, everybody knows, he's a man who needs no introduction. But if you insist, former DG of the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation. Okay, that is in your language. In my language, okay, let me go to my sister. Shele, stubborn. I'll give 1 million out like that. Am I mad? What does Ibaka mean, my sister? Talks too much. That's not what it means in my village. My brother, what does it mean?
It means meticulousness.
Meticulousness. Okay, if you say so, but that's not what it means in my language. Stanley, what does Ibaka mean? What does it mean?
It's actually an acronym. The I is Idonike, B is progressive, A is and, K, Kayode, A and D is Tizu.
Who killed it? It's not that Ibaka I'm talking about. It's not that Ibaka I'm talking about. It's not that one. So who wants to try? Who wants to try? Maybe you get the one I'm talking about.
I think I understand where he was coming from. Idonike Blessed that he was referring to is the MD of Ibaka, and Kazim Aduti, which is the chairman of Ibaka. I guess that is what he was referring to. Thank you.
Well, you can guess. If it's correct, give me your 1 million.
Service that offers library of Nollywood blockbuster movies and TV series on the go. Ibaka TV is one of the fastest growing online entertainment companies in Africa, having started in 2012 as one of the first to acquire YouTube Premium Partnership in Sub-Saharan Africa. Ibaka TV later went ahead to launch its own online streaming platform in 2014. Ibaka TV has built a global audience of over 100 million video views, 10 billion estimated watch time, with 4 million unique subscribers and followers across all social platforms from over 200.
That's really, and what's driving all of this really is connectivity. That we all have access to these digital devices that helps us to not only to create content but to share content. So when I was asked to speak the keynote today, I was asked to talk about the emerging opportunities in the streaming ecosystem, and this little dichotomy between whether the OTT platforms and the data connectivity platforms as we know it today, in this case your Glow and your mobile and all the mobile phone companies. How will this play out in the future? So I just thought to share some of my own experiences and of course some of the information that is widely available. Before I go ahead, let me again spend a few moments to just recognize some of the pillars of our industry, some of the people who ties all of that content. Especially now that we live in the age of NFTs, it's something that you might want to explore. And Your Excellency, the Chief of Staff to His Excellency, the Governor, who I think is probably the only governor that understands what governance is about. And I say this with all sense of responsibility. It is indeed a great honor to stand here before this hall. Let me go back to tell you guys something. I talked about MTA briefly, and I talked about those of you who remember those days when We're fighting, oh, OTTs are spoiling our business, they're killing our business. But if you look at the revenue today of all the big telcos, it's not voice, it's data. And what do people use that data for? It's to watch Oduade's memes, to share Netflix, to looking forward to watching Kola Flyers movies. That's what people are using data for. Increasingly, research suggests that close to 70% of consumption, of data consumption, goes to watching video. So, if you are a mobile phone company and your voice revenue is coming down, but your data is going up, and what is driving data, and you understand that it's video, wouldn't it make sense then for you to start thinking, how then do I get into this game so that I can increase my ARPU, my revenue per user, and maybe reduce my churn? Because that's now the struggle. And the only way to do that is to make a partnership with content platform. But it doesn't end there, because there is a trick, In America a few years ago, everybody was talking about, we're going to cut the cord. We're no longer going to use cable TV. Everybody's going to stream Netflix and all the BBC iPlayers. Everybody was going to look for individual content. But again, another reality presents itself. The more things change, the more they remain the same. Because not everyone can afford to buy, or indeed, especially in Africa, and I'll explain why in the next few minutes. So I'm buying Netflix subscription. How much is that? I think it's about 5,000, 6,000 naira a month. I want Disney, similar amount of money. I want HBO. I want this, I want that. And on top of it, most of us here who have Netflix still subscribe to your DSTV, either for Super Sport or for some other sport, or indeed for news or some other reality TV-based content. So you have multiple subscriptions running. So we're coming back again to the old days where we now need a super aggregator. So if we go back to 1950s, 1960s, how the cable companies in America became big was because they bypassed the traditional free-to-air and they provided cable access to people in their home, and they packaged content. So now in 2021, 2022, going forward, we're going back to the future, so to speak, because all the individual bits and bytes of content, we now need someone with a pipe and connectivity to do what cable companies did back in those days, to become again another super aggregator. And that's going to happen. Because not everyone will have the ability to subscribe to this, subscribe to that, subscribe to this one. Somebody who sits in the middle, who provides that connectivity, will now have to do what cable companies used to do in the past. And that's going to be interesting. So here we are in Africa, 2021, we're seeing that the big companies are changing. The big telco companies are now investing in content. Indeed, when I was at NBC, we licensed one of the, I won't mention the name, but because I see green everywhere. But we licensed another company, we gave them a converged digital TV license. And so because we recognized the future, where things were going, that because of digital disruption, and I often say this to people, and I think I want to share it with my friends at Ibaka, to recognize that just because you see yourself as a content platform, if you operate in the digital space, you are just as susceptible to any other kind of threats and competition from anyone. You need to recognize that. You know, in the analog days, a good way to illustrate this will be that analog is like a tank. TV versus TV. So NTA versus AIT. Now in the digital space, AIT will be competing with YouTube, will be competing with Netflix. We'll even be competing with the telco, because the telco can buy content. You see the alliances that's going on. One of the telco companies has a deal with a music streaming company, offers. So there's a lot that's going on. So if you think yourself only from the point of view that I am simply a TV and providing only television content, you'll be missing a lot. Because there's gaming. There's video gaming, there's a huge market. So there's a lot of things you need to understand that in this digital space, you cannot be one thing. And you cannot only see one person as only competition, because everything can become your competition and your alliance or your strategic partner in the digital space. Because we see that BT in the UK has sports, Vice, Premier League, football rights. Yes? And you will think 20 years ago to imagine Nitel owning a cable company or owning Nigerian league matches. But that has changed. You know, Vivendi, the old Vivendi in France.
We making money, we making money, we making money this year. We making money this year. No matter what the route is, the better this year.
And then you say,
This year, this year, this year.
torí ọdún eléyìí,
Ó ti sọ wá sí rẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ ti sọ wá sáyọ̀, ó dẹ̀ máa sọ wá sí gbogbo nǹkan. Léèyàn fi láyọ̀, mo ló ti sọ wá sí rẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ ti sọ wá sáyọ̀, ó dẹ̀ máa sọ wá sí gbogbo nǹkan. Léèyàn fi láyọ̀. One, my graduation this year, my promotion this year.
and then you say,
This year, this year, this year. Listen, my freedom this year. Yes, I'm getting married this year. This year, this year, this year. As people know, I'm a money, I don't go. I'm happy, I'm paying, me. See, if you believe, say amen.
amen, amen, oh. God bless you. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you. You know, day one, I don't go to my church anymore. And I'll tell you why. Last year was 2020.
So, good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I want to seize the opportunity to welcome you one more time to this special product launch. Today marks a very, very important day, not only for Ibaka TV or Globalcom, but for the Nigerian movie industry and Nigeria as a whole. It's the common knowledge that the Nollywood movie industry is the second largest movie industry in the world, second to Bollywood. The movie industry, our industry is blessed with great filmmakers, great actors, producers, cinematographers. We have a huge market size. As a matter of fact, we have a huge market size because of our growing population of over 200 million people. The entertainment and the creative industry has contributed over 2.3% of the 2.3% to the Nigerian economy. The Nollywood industry, in particular, was valued for about 3.6 billion as of 2016, and was projected to be 6.4 billion in 2021. But despite all of this promises, projection, it is sad to say that the industry have not been able to convert all of this potential into a meaningful revenue generation. It will amaze you to know that even the highest gross Nollywood movie of our time, which is Omogeto, couldn't penetrate up to 0.1% of our growing population. The reason why the industry is faced with this challenge is because of what I call lack of market penetration. Now, market penetration, what I mean by market penetration, I'm looking at two areas here: market accessibility and market affordability. So what I mean is that the reason why the industry lacks market penetration, despite the huge market, is because of market accessibility and market affordability. And what I mean by market accessibility is the ability to sell your goods and service without limitation or restriction. Now, this same reason is why the DVD market collapsed. It's the same reason why the cinemas are struggling. The industry is faced with this challenge because of the lack of investment in infrastructure. The DVD market collapsed because of the lack of investment in rental stores across the country. The cinemas are struggling because of lack of adequate cinemas across the country. If we have to take comparison with other movie industry like Bollywood and Hollywood, these industries evolve because of the emergence of cinema across their countries. For instance, the Bollywood industry has over 6,000 cinemas across the country and generates over $2.4 billion annually, $2.4 billion. The Hollywood industry has over almost 6,500 cinemas across the country and generate over $11.1 billion annually. But the Nollywood industry have only 45 cinemas. Now, out of these 45 cinemas, 10 is situated in Lagos, while the other 35 is spread across the states, meaning that there are some states that don't even have cinemas. Now, if you have to look at the ratio, we are talking about one cinema to 5 million Nigerians. 5 million Nigerians. But with the emergence of the OTT streaming service, OTT streaming platform, and the increase in internet penetration in Nigeria, this has improved the market accessibility significantly and create more visibility for the Nollywood industry. But there is still another issue to contend with, which is what I call market affordability. Now, market affordability talks about the average purchasing power of an individual family. In Nigeria today, due to the economic social challenge, and what I mean by economic social challenge, I'm talking about the difference between those in the upper class and those in the middle class. The margin is huge. And we have more people in the lower class than those in the upper class. These are people that survive on a daily income. The average cost of accessing a movie in cinema today is between the range of 5,000 naira. This covers the cost of transportation because of lack of cinema close, to them, and the cost of buying ticket and the cost of entertainment. Also for the OTT streaming platform, the average cost of accessing movies on an OTT streaming platform is ranging between the price of between 5,000 and above. This covers the cost of data purchase and the cost of subscription. Now the question here is, how affordable is it to that average Nigerian who survive on a daily income? This is the very reason why this class of people would rather patronize a premium platform like YouTube that does not require subscription, but allows them to stream and download with their data. Sometimes they patronize piracy sites that upload unauthorized content and allow them to stream and download this content with their data, without restriction, without subscription. But you will observe that these people in this class, regardless of the socio-economic challenge, still have budget for data. Now the question is, what is the way forward for the industry? The way forward for the industry, we believe the solution we are about to release into the market few days from now. We believe this solution will enable every average Nigerian to have access to watch Nollywood movies irrespective of their social class. This laudable innovation will give Nigerians access to stream and download latest Nollywood movies, TV series, and also stop the internet at no extra cost. This innovative solution is also geared towards curbing the activities of piracy in the industry and in return boost the market penetration. Imagine a subscription as low as 600 naira gives you a 3 gig of data for free without restriction to stream, download, and also surf the internet. Imagine a subscription as low as 2,000 naira per month gives you a free data of about 1.3 gig, 4.1 gig without restriction. And this data allows you to stream, download, and also surf the internet. Imagine a subscription as low as 5,000 quarterly gives you 13.25 gig of data for free without restriction. Imagine a subscription of 12,000 per annual gives you data of 50 gig data without restriction, or a subscription of 24,000 naira annually gives you data of 119 gig of data without restriction. This we have achieved in partnership with Glow, the grandmaster of data, by introducing a streaming and download solution attached to our package. Beyond this, we also went further as a company to introduce a solution that allows you to customize your download consumption. This affords you the opportunity to stream and download on a low quality or high quality. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, this solution we have put in place are well thought out after due consideration and comparison between our country where data for internet navigation is not economically favorable to the pockets and advanced countries that has it sufficiently. By these actions, we believe that the man or woman in Damaturu, Yobe State, to the man in Boko, Borno State, to the man in Inewi, Anambra State, and all other Nigerians can enjoy the same opportunity with that man in Abuja and Lagos. On the final note, without taking much of your time, I wish to appreciate every one of you for finding time to come for this launch. This demonstrates that we are all partners in building the Nigeria of our dream. I want to particularly appreciate our partner Globacom and everyone present, that with our thinking cap, we will continue to work hard in order to make sure millions of Nigerians are sufficiently satisfied and value added to the movie industry. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our new innovation, which is set to hit the market on the 10th of December 2021. Sit back and enjoy. Thank you.
Dance like this, you want to actually like this. You didn't say you want to get shutting our money like this. I mean, don't take something. You know they think. I you not say that they think. You know they think they come the problem. If you don't win, that make it right. If I go as I that one way they want me, I will collect it. You know you, that's what they dance for here. Nobody knows. Hey, come. Come, move. Leave this man. Leave this one. This one way they dance like this. What is the song? Yes, they watch this. Yes, sir. If I make a case, I don't ask you. Now they make this person period. This is for me. As I get like this, I don't get one problem. No. Ibaka, there is some people with plenty free unlimited data to watch the latest Hollywood blockbuster movie. Can you imagine? Never imagine. Make a bunch of me. Share you know say if you subscribe to just 2,000 naira, she give you money for 1 month. Guess how much they will give you?
How much?
4.1 gig.
Hey!
You never finish it. If you can't subscribe with 5,000 naira for 3 months, guess how much they will give you? They will give you 13.25 gig.
Hey!
See, bros, make a conscious way. If you subscribe with just 12,000 naira for 6 months, guess how much data they give you? How much? 50 gig. So already now, if you buy subscribe with 20,000 naira in a year, guess how many they give you? 93 gig. Hey! See, bro, wait! You never see this, so see, because if you won't get one, the one where they make you that side mad for them. Bro, say you go say the weekend plan. You subscribe just 600 naira. Just 600 naira. Ibaka think they go hammer you with 3 gig.
Nobody do me that.
You pass it to my brother. See, make I come bust your head. Bro, you see this data wey dey hammer you. You fit use am do anything, so na you get am. See, you fit use am download. Any movie wey you want, whether na action film, whether na cartoon, whether na any movie wey you want, you fit use am download am. Whether na high quality you wan download o, abi na low quality to save your data. Bros, na you get am.
Hey! You just something.
This na who make it away you talk. Wey make you get it out. See bros, e dey easy now. See make I explain to you. Okay. How you need to do now? You don get close. If you don get close, okay. If you go download the Ibaka TV app from Play Store, if you don download that one, you don go there, you go there, enjoy their food better.
Oh boy, this is never go need to. One for na to go dey watch Hollywood movie dey go be that. You get one big one though when you sell closing for that outside.
No, yeah, na for end of month.
But yeah, come on, go there. Okay, so go see. Shadi, okay. Where am I?
You want for that money? No, I know that you visit that yesterday. I think now. Let's not replay with you. Can't take that. Let's not replay with you. Ross, let's know what you do. Go back. Go back. Go back.
Get it on Google, get it on App Store, the Ibaka TV app, and this December period we'll do it in. You go, make I choke you, make you see whether the guy choke you. So I'd like to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my sister Kemi Afolabi. A round of applause for her, please. Also here is another superstar, Aisha Lawal. A round of applause for her, please. The senior pastor at Sovereign Walls Church, Dr. Anthony Oko, is there with us. Can I have a round of applause for him, please? God bless you. To this group, Salim Balogun Malaja.
All right, good evening, everybody. On behalf of my colleagues, Shegun Areze, Kunle, Femi, Aisha, no, I can't remember now. Aisha Lawa, Kemi Afolabi, Moradike, Tolade Lana, and all protocol duly observed here, my political friends. Oshun, Femi, Shegun Olulade, my housing man there, Commissioner Wasiu Olatubosun, everybody Emeka, everybody on behalf of myself, Miyaki Pelu, Bioduku Polu, Babawa, Otuwa, everybody, I will say on behalf of my colleague, I'm supposed to make a remark on behalf of the actors, right? Ibaka, thank you very much for doing all what you're doing. Because you created a platform that people will be able to see our talent, will be able to show the whole world what we can do. Ibaka has told the whole world, it is only you that can make you what you want you to be. And they've said streaming, it's a good thing, a fantastic one. And on behalf of my colleague Ibaka, I say well done, thank you. Like only 7, I was going upset, said Saidi, Masoroju, dinner time. God will bless you, everybody. Thank you very much.
And he has a place he calls the Cap Hub off Allen. There's a cinema in it and there's a FFA in it if you want to have fun. Join me there tonight. Buy anything you want and pay.
Okay, all right, good evening. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my colleagues. And thank you to the chairman, the MD, and management of Ibaka TV for inviting me and for putting this together. I really don't have much to say. I just want to encourage what Ibaka is doing. We partnered on several levels. I think we've been doing stuff together for over 10 years. And I remember the first time the MD, Blessed, walked into my office. It was like 10 years or more. And he said, look, we want your content, we want to do things with you. And I'm like, who are you, you know? But it was so persistent. I didn't even know that Mr. Adeoti was also behind. Mr. Blessed was the face of Ibaka. He was the one that, you know, and I saw determination in him. And sometimes I'll just say, okay, take it, let's sign the agreement later. You know, we were really, and I didn't know him from anywhere. I just believed, I keyed into what they were doing. As far back as that time. And when I eventually met my Igbono brother, I mean, and then, you know, we tied it to, I think one day we had a meeting, the three of us, and I said, oh, okay, so you're the one in charge. And since then, I'm always saying, Blessed is still there. Because in Nigeria, you know, sustainability is something that, you know, is not very common. We don't pay a lot of attention to, we don't grow our things. We start and along the way you give up. Our industry is one of those industries that, you know, if you don't have strong hearts, it's not with the lap attention and making frustration until you see. There are loads of people who are in that space or who started and they're no longer there. What you guys are doing, I don't know how you're doing it, but to be a streaming platform, you must have minimum of like 1 billion naira investments to run this. Because you can't, because you're competing with the likes of Netflix and the rest of them. It is one thing to populate and have catalogs that people will want to sit and say, okay, you know, I'm going to, for the next 1 month, you want to engage people. Also, what is that thing that will drive, that will make people prefer your platform to the other bigger platform? It means you must have some exclusive content that will drive people to you. And for you to do this is a lot of money. So Zadeti and Mr. I don't know how you're doing it, but you're more for So congratulations. I'm not sure what the details of your deal with the telcos is, but again, I would say open it up more, you know, so that, you know, people are not only restricted to just one telcos. Because for me, if I don't have that network, how do I, you know, watch your content, or how do I leverage what you guys, the amazing thing you guys are doing? And I'll just, on the last note, use this opportunity to address my people from Oyo State. Something big is coming to Oyo, courtesy Kunle Afolayan. Our next film we're filming in Oyo in January. As a matter of fact, in Obenile Yakomani Baba from my father's side, I'm Igbono. From my mother's side, I'm from Komu. In Tesiwaju local, that's she knows Kini as well. And in the last 1 month, I've been there 3 times. You know, because we're building a studio, a film village. And this, as a matter of fact, I'm going there tomorrow again. We've started conversation, we're trying to involve government, but for me, I don't put government first. What I do is, I want you guys to see that we're even serious about what we're doing. And I'm sure you guys will be chasing us. You will need me. So it's important that, you know, we set this forward. But I think there's a whole lot we can do, because it's not going to be just a film village. I think it's going to be something that the other states will want to even be part of. And on that note, I want to say it's almost 8 o'clock for food, but thank you very much for coming. Yeah.
People that don't eat after 8 can go. Please, we still have 7 minutes to make it long, like 8:15.
His Excellency, the Governor, Executive Governor of Oyo State, and the Honorable Minister of Information, Art and Culture, we say thank you. My honorable members here present, I say thank you. The media moguls, I say thank you to you, sirs. The giant filmmakers, I say thank you. My senior colleagues and my guys, the marketers, I say thank you. Everyone here tonight is important. We appreciate you and we love you. The film producers, my associates, my Nollywood superstars, you guys are awesome. Without you, there is no Ibaka, there is no Adikas. Thank you and God bless you.
So sorry, Domina, you're from where? Ibaka.